What happened to me on American Ninja Warrior Season 10? Let's get this review underway. It's about time I told you guys what happened. How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining us again on another exciting adventure. Today we're in Michigan. This is my first time visiting Michigan. I've never been to the state. The event we're here for is Rockford Ninja. So Rockford Ninja Warrior is this really cool organization that's been putting on these cool camps, giving people, giving kids, giving this community the opportunity to meet some of their favorite ninjas and teach them about goal setting and overcoming your fears and just working with people on overcoming obstacles and just building their spirit. I'm super excited to be a part of this. And as you know, being a gym owner, a coach, I love teaching, and being up here was the obvious choice. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stay for the final event, which is the big competition that they have in the arena. I would love to, but I gotta get back to the gym because our 2-year anniversary mark is going to be this weekend at the same exact time. So I got to fly back a little bit early, but at least I get to explore this beautiful state. There is a lot to see out here and do, and hopefully I can have some time to get to everything that I want to see and do out here. Now, before we go into another adventure and start exploring stuff and jumping around and doing parkour, you know the deal. I want to talk about my Season 10 Indianapolis Qualifiers run. None of this has been aired, none of it has been released, no information has been given out about this other than me just kind of talking to you guys in passing. So we're gonna drop this online and we're gonna do a fun little review together, and I've been kind of waiting to do this with you guys because it's so odd, like, for me not to just show up on the show. And I know that sounds a little egotistical, but it's like they build me up so much, they give me so much hype every single time, like I'm this crazy speedster, and I don't try to go super fast, it just kind of works out that way. And then all this fun build up with the 1 week, I don't even remember what it was called, but the 1 week series, 1 week to go, my process, my training, my preparation, all leading up to how I did on American Ninja Warrior Season 10 Indianapolis Qualifiers. It all builds up to this moment, so I'm happy I get to share this with you guys. So let's watch together. We'll do a little like a behind the scenes. Here we go. Rocking the black leather jacket. I love that jacket. I have a really funny story before we continue. I bet you guys can't guess how much that jacket was worth. I bought it for $20 at a Nordstrom's rack. And how I was able to get that jacket for that price is I just so happened to be hanging out waiting to use the restroom, and I noticed it's in the little kids extra large section. There's a clearance rack and it had all this random stuff on it, and I'm staring at it, I'm looking left and right, and so believe it or not, I grabbed that jacket off the shelf, I put it on, and like this little like XXL like 9-year-old's jacket is the perfect fit from the clearance shelf. So of course I'm gonna buy it, and now that's my new go-to for buying expensive looking clothes, is just shopping the little boys plus section. Anyway, back to the video. Of course I gotta do a flip at the beginning of the video. I feel like if I don't do something cool and flashy at the beginning, then it's just like I'm wasting airtime. I might as well entertain while I'm up there. It's part of who I am. Taking off the jacket, it's serious. So I was supposed to toss that to my girlfriend, but they need your audience in specific spots, so they like moved her away, and I just tossed it on the street. Everybody always asks, like, is the one stair difficult, or the 1 foot, is one footing the quintuple steps really hard? Honestly, it's not, and I can't tell you how many times I drill this into my students' minds, and it's all about the angle in which you're leaning, and the closer you are to the water, the better. So if I'm like at the bottom of the step as close as possible, and you step as far out as you can with enough lean, it doesn't take a lot of power. You can easily 1 foot those quintuple steps and go right to the rope. It's back to the video. Oh, so when I got to this cannonball, like, you can obviously tell, like, That was probably the only obstacle I was a little unsure of myself about, just because I had seen so many awkward attempts on it before, and a lot of times when you see people fail on it so many dozens of times, then it kind of makes you feel unsure of yourself. So obviously I had been on something similar in gyms that were set up before, and it was really easy. So I wasn't expecting it to be too difficult, but I knew that I wanted to stay focused, and my worst thing I wanted to happen was I wanted to make sure I didn't get turned around on it, because I noticed the people who actually ended up going backwards on it would not get a really clean dismount and sometimes bounce back into the water, and that was kind of my downfall. Honestly, in hindsight, the next time I get to that obstacle, that cannonball drop, if I just would have shoved off as hard as possible, I would have had enough momentum to just like clear the other side. But let's watch. So I wrapped my hands around this grip. I really love, by the way. It felt super good. Holding that lock off was great, but right there, and I was so unsure, but I jumped on the next obstacle and I kept going because I'm like, you know what? I don't care. There's no red light. That means go. And then they red lighted me. And what that means for those of you guys who don't know is that you're disqualified. You're out. That's it for your round. And, they had to make that tough call. I'm getting a phone call right now. We're going to ignore this. Hopefully one of the other guys will pick it up. But so anyway, yeah, when I came down off of the cannonball drop, I tried to do like a normal lâcher, but it doesn't work like that. And I didn't have enough momentum. I was expecting that cannonball to slide really fast as I went down, and I thought that might be why people lost control, but it actually didn't go very fast at all, and that ended up being my downfall. So I really didn't give it enough speed. I didn't give it enough push, and so by the time I got to the bottom and dismounted off of it, my body was so awkwardly on the platform, I fell directly into the truss, and like naturally your instincts are going to take over and your hands are going to block whatever's in front of your face. Otherwise, I'm taking a truss to the face, and I can't stop my hands from keeping me from getting injured. So obviously, my hands did what they're going to do, grabbed the truss, instead of taking a face planter and then potentially falling in the water. Unfortunately, those are the rules, guys. You can't touch the truss. It's pretty obvious. They make it very clear when you guys are on the course, and that's what happened. It's one of those things, like I never thought that out of all the things that could happen, obviously, like, I would ever get disqualified. But it's happened to some greats before. People have gotten disqualified for other things. Some people have gotten away with stuff. But that's just the name of the game, and it's a really tough call. For those of you guys who are other gym owners or hosting competitions and events, it is really, really hard to make that call whether or not something is okay or something is not. There's all these gray areas, and you could tell on the faces of some of the producers, like, they so badly wanted me to keep going, and I did too. But, if we replay that and you check out, you could see my guilty face as soon as I touched that bar. It was like, ah. Which also makes me wonder, too, like, if I hadn't made that face, if I would have just, like, hit and went, maybe the producers would have been like, oh, yeah, he didn't call himself out. It's okay. We'll let him keep running. It is what it is. I'm not upset about it. It's unfortunate, but it's one of those things. It's like, I'm not wet. And on the plus side, I got a really sweet callback to the next day. Before people run the city finals course, they call some people in to do some testing, and I was one of the lucky few to do a full course testing. So here's a clip of that, and I'm just so happy that I was able to prove to myself that I could still crush it despite the previous night. Oh well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed Lorin Fail. Hashtag Lorin Fail.